We're going to shift focus now from equities to commodities. We've been talking about crude for the past several weeks, but today we're going to talk about coal because prices for coal are down 50% in recent months, coming in as a positive for steel companies and a variety of others, such as power companies as well, that use coal. Is there more downside in store for coal? We're going to talk to a coal expert, Deepak Kannan, managing editor, Thermal Coal at Platts, joins us on the phone line. Deepak, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for speaking with us. We've seen a continuous decline in coal prices, not just in the past few months, but over the past couple of years. What's the current outlook on coal?
Thank you for having me. The demand has been quite muted. We should understand that India and China are the major buyers, along with South Korea, Taiwan, and even Japan. And a lot of things are happening in Japan, China and India this year, because China is trying to restrict its imports and also trying to boost its domestic production. It's trying to boost the prices for its domestic coal. That is having a significant impact on the international coal prices at the moment. You're right, the prices are down significantly this year. India has its own issues, like we have a lot of vessel congestion at some of the ports in India, and then there is a shortage of railway rakes to transport the coal from the ports to the power plants. So, and there is growing demand in India for coal, but Coal India, which is the major supplier, is still falling short of production targets. So what it means is India is reliant on imported coal for the time being, but there are a few issues to be sorted out in terms of logistics.
Okay, so will India keep a floor on coal prices then?
India has been price sensitive because the electricity tariffs are not linked to the coal prices yet. Whereas China, if there is demand, they can push up the price. So this year what we are seeing is China is not importing as much as it should have, or it has historically, while India is still buying, but they are keeping the prices at a subdued level. So although there is demand from India, there is still having no major push towards rising prices.
Can you walk us through, Deepak, what the supply surplus is globally at this point in time in terms of coal?
There is plenty of supply. For instance, talking about an unrelated market, South Korea utilities usually buy their coal through tenders, and one of the utilities sought 1 million metric tons of coal, and they got offered 7 million metric tons. So wow. You can see the amount of supply that there is. For each inquiry, you will get around 10 offers. So everyone has coal to offer, but there are not many buyers. So this oversupply is keeping the prices
Any
down.
Numbers that you can put to the oversupply globally?
For instance, China usually buys around 300 million metric tons of coal each year, and this year they have cut down by around 25 to 30%. So the rest of the tonnages is still being offered in the market.
Okay. I was reading about some potential supply shutdowns or plant shutdowns in the next couple of months in order to restore some degree of balance between supply and demand. What are you picking up on that front? Do you see prices bottoming out anytime soon?
Can't say really prices are bottoming out, because many analysts feel that there is still room for coal price to go down. Like some of the recent reports have indicated that coal prices, especially if you're talking about the Newcastle coal, which is the 6,300 kilocal GAR coal, it's expected to touch around $60 from the current $65 levels. So still there is a bit of room that the analysts see. There is a bit of a downside that analysts see. What this is doing is this is forcing a lot of suppliers to think about maintaining their cost levels, and they are putting on hold their expansion projects. Recently we saw that some of the major miners have said that they won't produce for the next 3 weeks in Australia because of the muted demand. So this kind of strategic initiatives are being implemented now to battle this environment of weak prices.
Deepak, is there a direct correlation between falling oil prices and falling coal prices as well?
Falling oil prices is good news for producers. That will help them in their production costs and also provide a buffer for them to lower their selling costs further. So this is a kind of a support that they have in terms of correlation between the oil and the coal prices.
Okay, if prices fall even further, do you see a chance, since you study the Indian market, do you see a chance that India demand might in fact edge up a little bit, because there is a difference in quality between imported coal in India and the kind of coal that Coal India supplies? So would you say that there might be in fact a commensurate move up in India demand? It might not make up for the lack of Chinese demand, but there could be a move up in India demand?
Yeah, of course. I mean, in the near to medium term, we expect Indian demand to pick up. I mean, in 2015-16, Indian import is expected to touch around 200 million metric tons from about 160 million currently. So it is expected to move up, but we also have some Coal Ministry of India saying that they want to ramp up Coal India's production.
No, yes, but that is probably going to take a little more than 6 months, I would think so.
I mean, in the near to medium term, we still see India is a significant player in the import
And despite that increase in demand as prices move lower, you don't see a floor to prices as yet. You're saying that we could see yet another $5 drop in prices from the current 65 level.
It might not fall as much as it has fallen this year. Probably it might be range bound with a negative downward bias, I would say.
Okay.
This is the indications that I've got from...
Are you seeing many Indian power producers or basically industrial groups rushing to book import supplies right now, given where prices are?
There are inquiries. There are several inquiries, but given the logistics issues, many deals are getting hampered because they can get the vessel to the port, but the port has around 40 to 45 days of waiting time, and they have to bear the demurrage cost. And then even if they discharge the cargo at the port, they cannot move it from the port to the power plants because they don't have railway rakes to move it. So all these things, if addressed, then probably we can see all these inquiries getting converted into deals.
All right, Deepak, appreciate you talking us through coal dynamics. At this point in time, Deepak Kannan there of Platts saying that coal prices are headed downwards, maybe not substantially, but the bias is negative.